Robbie?
Hello, give me 1 second, Suzanne. Hold on.
Oh, there's Bob! Robert!
Hey, Miss Slate, what's happening?
Two
You're
Roberts.
pretty good.
Cockroaches behind you. Thanks for inviting me again.
Oh, I'm sorry it was a mix-up. I feel bad.
Hey, Bufo!
Gross.
Rhinella morena, the Bufo toad.
Hey, the video that you did the other night with those ugly, nasty tadpoles in the middle of the night, you're one sick person, man.
Oh, seriously?
Ugh. But it looked like a Sprite bottle. What happened to the little? Remember, you came in the Container Store and got something. What happened with that?
I'm not displaying on Facebook what my actual traps look like. That's just that one that you saw on the video was like a primitive version of that. It's still them, but not the volume that what I got at the Container Store. Yeah, those are my money makers.
Hey, Robert, how are you, man?
Your secret. I won't bring it up, but you have your own patent on how to catch those suckers.
Bring it up. Talk about it.
Oh, I am. Blech.
So I'm gonna type up a little something. I'm gonna post on. We're not live yet or anything like that, but I'm just gonna type up a little thing, Robert, and I'm gonna ask you to make sure that everything I have is correct, and then we'll do a dry run. Suzanne, you have some questions you want to ask Robert?
Well, I was just writing some things down, obviously. Tell us a little about himself and how he got into it and let him talk. Some of his difficult jobs. How do you decide what treatment to use? Are they pet safe, people safe, that kind of stuff?
So Robert, you deal with, just give me a background real quick, just so I can.
We're a full service extermination company. We do everything from your general household pest to, can you hear my dogs barking?
Yeah, it's fine right now. For right now, it's fine. But yeah, I heard it.
Okay, I'll lock them up in a second. Anyway, everything from general household pests to, animals in the attic.
And Suzanne said you've been doing a lot of work with. Is it right with the guys behind me here? This picture behind me, these Bufo toads.
Oh, that's Rhinella morena. That's the cane toad, the Bufo toad.
So you deal with those too?
Absolutely.
And I've heard. I just saw a news article today. Actually, and we've had them once before in our yard. Of course, they're very contagious. They're very poisonous to dogs and animals. Have you seen a rise in the number so far? It's been, or is it kind of?
Well, actually, I have data that can show how my treatments have been effective in areas like there's a community in Abacoa that I started a treatment program on last year. We removed over 100,000 toads from the water bodies in that community over a 4-week period. The reason why we're doing that is because people walking their dogs up and down the road every day were coming in contact with these ginormous cane toads in the middle of the street and on the patio, and some of the coon hounds would chase them down. And so what we did is instead of going around and collecting 10 or 20 Bufo toads in a neighborhood, you targeted it at the juvenile stage in the water, so that this season we're not having the influx into the community. And so it's great results.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to let you guys talk quick. I'm just going to type something up while if you want to go put your dogs away. Suzanne, you want to ask them something?
I'm going to go lock my dog up.
I'm just going to type some stuff up here quick. Sorry, that rental one lasted way too long today.
Holy crap.
God almighty. It was
like
long.
You could tell who he likes the most.
I was just
Will.
I just I had to take a deep breath afterwards. I'm like, my God. He asked me the question. I really wasn't even paying attention. I'm like, man, I'm over. I'm done.
I know. That's why I punched it in there. I was like, you were talking about blah, blah, blah. And then he said, I asked a question. I was like, no, I'm trying to remind you what you said.
All right. So let's see here. Let's do this. Robert. How do you spell Robert's last name? Miglierda?
No.
Migliara.
Miglira.
A-R-A.
should say it on your screen. Sorry, I'm typing at the same time. Migliara.
So, Robert, what are some of the things you want to talk about?
I like to talk about the animal trapping,
Okay.
nuisance wildlife. I certainly like to talk about termite inspections
Okay.
and the offering of recurring residential pest control in your home on an every other month service, which is the Federal Protection Plan.
Okay. Yeah, because I was going to ask about your exterminating plans and things that you have. But you feel free. You can just be freelance and talk about whatever.
How long are we going to chat for?
Yeah, 15, 20 minutes probably, give or take. Usually that's how long they last.
Okay.
So what
You
I'm
run
going
out
to
of
do.
material.
So what I'm gonna give me a headline. What should I have here? Ecofine Properties real estate agent Suzanne Slate sits down with Robert Migliara, owner of Federal Extermination in Palm Beach Gardens in Palm Beach County. Where are you located?
It's Federal Exterminating.
Exterminating, yep. Oh, extermination. I put yep. Exterminating, yep.
And that's in Palm Beach County. Is good.
Okay.
You go up to Mountain County now?
I go to Port St. Lucie and down to Homestead, actually. But the heart of my business is right from, I would say, County Line Road in Tequesta to like Glades Road. That's where the meat of my customers are.
Do you have a lot of commercial accounts? What's your?
A lot of commercial accounts. That's a big part of our business too. We do a lot of restaurant groups. Shopping centers, shopping malls, you name it. I mean, that's like Five Guys, Burgers and Fries. That's one of our.
How long have you been in business?
Federal Exterminating has been in business for 5 years now. I've been in the business since 2004. I've been a licensed exterminator since 2004.
Contact.
I'm so digging that toad behind you, Rob. That is just.
I found it quickly online.
That is the head.
I gotta
Rob
put
is
it.
the head.
I'll move when we do it. I'm contact Robert at Federal Exterminating today. What's the number they can get in touch with you, Robert, if they want to call after they're watching this?
561-777-4476.
4476 777-4476. Do you have a website they can also go to?
Yep, they can reach us at federalexterminating.com and find us on Facebook as well.
Federalexterminating.com. Okay, so we're doing. Okay, so here's what I have when I'm for our Facebook post. I'm going to put, and I got to think of a catchy title here, but it's Ecofine Properties real estate agent Suzanne Slate sits down with Robert Migliara, owner of Federal Exterminating in Palm Beach County, to talk about maintaining and keeping your business and property pest free. That sound good?
Yeah, I think the title could be Federal Agent Raids Ecofine Properties. That's what I tell my customers when I knock on the door. I say, hey, federal agents are raiding your property to execute an eviction order for the rodents in your attic.
Federal agent.
Raids.
Yeah, let's see. I only think on the federal. I like that. Federal agent raids your property. Raids your property.
You gonna do a watch party, Robert?
I didn't set it up to do that, but if you give me some information, I'll put it on my Facebook.
Just go to Ecofine Properties in Facebook, and then you can share it from there. Do a watch story from there.
Okay.
Once it comes up, you can share it.
How about let this federal agent raid your property? And then let this federal agent raid your property.
Yes, that keeps with the correct narrative. Awesome.
Okay. Let this federal agent raid your property. Local Palm Beach County business highlights. Ecofine Properties real estate agent. That's when I said all the stuff I said before. Contact Robert at Federal Exterminating today. 561-777-4476 or www.federalexterminating.com. Okay, so let's see here. We still have a couple minutes. We're good. At least we're on early to make sure everything works.
Cool.
And then Suzanne,
Oh, good.
Suzanne, what I'll do is what we've normally done is I'll start, Robert, just so you know, I'll start with a little intro that I always do. And then I'll let Suzanne take it away with some questions, and then you'll just talk away. And then Suzanne I may throw some questions in there. We'll show this beautiful toad behind me. Yeah.
We guys temper me when I tend to get into a long rant and get me back on task.
Yeah. I think you'll know what you're talking about, so you'll be good. What are the main, like, you do exterminating, of course, but what are the main things people normally call you for? Like, what's the biggest, I guess, or the most? Is it
The
bugs?
most common call we're gonna get is gonna be homeowners standing in their kitchen and they have the tiny little ants that are crawling across the counter.
Mm-hmm.
The small ones are ghost ants or sugar ants, people call them.
Mm-hmm.
Piss ants. There's 100 different names for them. But that's the first thing. Being in the pest control business, but a local pest control company and one of my mentors, Bob Bates from Bates Exterminating, hired me on and showed me, just what the pest control business could be like. And I've enjoyed it ever since.
Well, you do residential and commercial, correct?
We do residential, commercial. Our residential accounts are we have what's called the Federal Protection Program, where we service your home on an every other month service for routine maintenance. Some homes don't require a routine maintenance. You might need a one-time service. We can handle that for you. As far as the commercial accounts go, we do large shopping centers, restaurant groups, and things of that nature.
What I love about you is your customer service, and that you are always answering the phone, a text, or something. You're always readily available. I know you have a million clients. How do you do that?
Well, we don't advertise on big billboards. We don't do commercial advertising on television. But what we do is we develop a relationship with homeowners and business owners that need someone who's going to be attentive to their needs. So when you contact me, you have first, I'm right there and available for you because I made that commitment to you. You're not just buying or purchasing someone to come out and spray some pest control products around your house. You're reaching out to someone that I have a need, I have a question. It goes more to that. So it's a developed relationship with people who understand and appreciate the need for that type of quality service.
Tell us some of the treatments that you're doing about now. I would assume different seasons have different rodents, bugs, animals.
Well, unfortunately, the rodent population is active all the time. And I'm going to say that's a large portion of my business. One of the projects we're working on right now is an attic restoration. What that is when animals have made entry into your home, whether it's a rodent or a raccoon, iguanas can get up there, you get an opossum up there. Animals move into your attic and they destroy it without a conscience. Your mom's wedding dress, they're going to have babies on it. Your old yearbooks, they're going to defecate inside of it. What Federal Exterminating does is we identify the entry points that these animals have made to get into your home. We trap and remove whatever is inside. We seal up all of the areas where they made penetration. Then we remove all of the contaminant, whether that's the insulation, the stored materials. We remove all that from the attic space. We clean it, we sanitize it, and then we return insulation at an R value that's going to give you the most energy efficiency. Like I said, when the animals get into the attic and they destroy it, it's more than just setting out traps and saying, oh, there were some rats, we caught them. Did you find out where they were coming from? Did you stop them from making entry? That's a very specialized service that we offer. Because you also have to remember, when someone's going up into your attic space, that's right above your head. That's your ceiling in your living room. You have to be talented enough to maneuver through that tight space without making any damage as you're going through. We're skilled in that regard as well.
You're like the successful Tom from Tom and Jerry, though, right? So he's the successful Tom. Tom and Jerry used to always get away from Tom. You're able to trap trap them, right? I got them right. Jerry's the mouse and Tom was the cat. Is that right? Yeah.
Got it. You got it. I prefer myself like, I guess I wouldn't be Wild and Coyote, would I? Never successful.
Go ahead, Suzanne. I just had to throw that in there. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, how do you know that they're up there unless you hear them running around? I mean, I've had a home in, being in real estate, and I didn't know there was something up there until I had an air conditioning guy go up there and say, there's a lot of, excrement up there. And then I called you, and it was as exactly what you just said. It was a 2 or 3 week or 4 week process.
Correct. Because you have to ensure that all of the animals are out. You don't want to go through all of the work of cleaning up the environment and making it safe when there's animals still up there. But how do you know that they're up there? Well, that comes from having an exterminator visit your home routinely and pull down the scuttle hatch or bring out the ladder and go up in there and take a look. Walking around the outside of your house, maybe when you're taking out the trash, if you notice anything in the soffit that might seem to be out of place, that's a great time to have an exterminator come out and do an inspection. When you're sitting in the house late at night and you hear something, don't dismiss it as the house just settling. Investigate it. There might be something going on. You'll hear that scratching or that sound of scampering feet.
Do you have pest control exterminating plans that you offer?
We do. Like I mentioned before, the Federal Protection Plan is our every other month pest management program. That's an exterior service with interior upon request. We're maintaining the house by knocking all the spider webs down, the mud daubers that build up, and keeping a strong perimeter on the exterior of your house. We also have rodent programs that are the same way. If you have concerns about rodents in your neighborhood, sometimes the association doesn't take care of your particular property. You want to put some rodent stations out there and have a monitoring program go on. We do that as well. Another program that we do is for people in your line of work, the real estate inspections, the termite inspections. Our termite inspections come with a video report, like the communication you were talking about earlier. We video everything that we've noted in our inspection, and then can deliver it to you so that realtors can explain to their potential buyers or sellers, hey, this is what's going on the property. This is what we need to do. This is the professional synopsis of what it is. And then it gives you a great tool to walk forward with. So our plans and programs are unique to the individual who needs it. We cater to that.
Right. So you do specific. Oh, go ahead, Rob.
Real quick. So you talked about termites. And that's one thing that I've always wondered about, especially living in Florida. And I'll see, houses maybe down the street, they call it tenting, or I think that's what it's called, when they have the whole house in this big tent that they put the chemicals in to kill all the termites. How do you know that you may have an infestation of termites? Like, are there signs? Like, how does someone know I might have termites?
That's a great question. Most of the time, termite activity isn't found until the damage has already been created. So let's say you're going to do some renovations in a house and you break open the drywall and you see that the wood framing behind it has been devoured by termites. And you look at it and you say, I lived in this house 15 years. I had no idea that was going on back there. What happened is eventually those termites that are consuming the wood are going to swarm out. We're in swarming season right now, so I'm certain that there's some people that have these flying insects in their house, and right now being identified for the first time as, oh my goodness, are these flying ants?
So they do fly.
They do fly? What it is. Absolutely. The termite gallery contains multiple castes of workers, the workers that destroy the cellulose material and the ones that fly out. And that's when you're going to see it as a homeowner. You're going to see it on the bathroom counters, and you're going to see it in volume. Termites, when they swarm, they don't swarm with one or two or a smattering here or there. You're going to get almost enough to maybe stuff a small beanbag chair. Substantial.
Oh, wow.
Right. And like I said, you're not going to know, a lot of times you're not going to know that you have activity unless you've had a thorough inspection. That's where, again, it comes to an experienced exterminator doing an inspection at least annually through your attic. We come around, we knock on some wood. There's a purpose behind that. We're not just, knocking for the heck of it. We're looking, we're listening for the audio sounds that tell us, hey, this wood has been compromised.
So if you do come out to my property and I need you to look, I got some roaches, let's say, or palmetto bugs, as people like to call them in Florida, and you come out to the property, you'll do an inspection. Just, I say I have cockroaches, but you'll also check for other things and then, give the person a perspective on, hey, listen, you have termites also.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because whatever's important to you when I'm coming out there, if you have cockroaches in your bathroom and you don't want to have them in there, I'm certainly going to be attentive to that. But I'm the professional in this matter, so I'm going to look around the house and say, hey, we have some conducive conditions over here that might promote. Are you ever seeing these larger ants? Oh my goodness, yes, I see these large ants at night. Well, I've identified a conducive condition that has carpenter ants that is something that we can mitigate on your house as well. You need to know about it until someone came to take a look at it.
Before Suzanne asks her next question, how can people get in touch with you? For people watching right now, how can they get in touch with you if they have some questions, they want you to come out to check their property? How can they get in touch with you?
That's my favorite question today. They can reach me by phone, by text, 561-777-4476. You can also reach us on Facebook at Federal Exterminating. And we're on, of course, the World Wide Web, federalexterminating.com. But definitely visit us on our Facebook page and see some of the stuff we've done. Send me an instant message, and I'll certainly get back to you.
And you go from where to where? Where's your coverage area? Is there a specific area that
Well, we do a lot of restaurant groups, like I said, so we stretch out up to Port St. Lucie. We do go down to Homestead, but the heart of my business is Tequesta down through the bottom of Palm Beach County.
Robert, what kind of products? I know people are worried nowadays with organic and different things, or the safety of the treatments that you do in the home for animals themselves, babies. What kind of products do you use?
Well, I'll say this. The products that we use are used to kill things. That's the reality. You have cockroaches. You need to affect the result and eliminate that. But use properly, which I'm trained to do, affects that the way that it needs to be. The products we use are actually very slight, because at Federal Exterminating, we believe in a judicious application of pesticide. We don't need to go around the perimeter of your house because you have ghost ants and spray from the roadside to the canal in the back. We're just looking at the environment and making these critical changes to affect the specific pest that you're having. And as far as products that we're using, it's one of my best products is called Termitor. Termitor, the active ingredient is fipronil, which is actually the same ingredient you're going to find in your flea and tick medication that you use for your dogs. So it's about application rates that makes the pesticide safe or not safe.
So your assistant plan, because there are a lot of DIY people out there that want to go to Home Depot and get their stuff, and they can utilize you to help them do it properly, correct?
Absolutely. One of my favorite things to do is to get calls from someone to say, hey, I'd like to discuss this with you. Okay, what do you got? Well, I have a bougainvillea that doesn't seem to be prospering. All the leaves are falling off. I go out every morning and I don't see anything on there. Well, let me tell you about that. Let me tell you about it through my federal assistance program. The federal assistance program will tell you that you have a very hungry caterpillar that comes out at night and feeds on the leaves and devours it, so when you wake up in the morning, they're gone. And suddenly, you're going to go out in the middle of the night and call me in the morning and say, oh my goodness, I saw hundreds of those caterpillars. That's exactly what it was. And the products that I described that you should use, and then boom, you've got a remedy. You didn't have to, call somebody else out to do it for you. You figured it out yourself with some really great conversation. Both of us learn in that regard,
Right, right. So One of the things that caught my eye, because I go on your website a lot and your Facebook page, because you always have some really cool stuff, was that bottle with those green things floating around in there. Tell me about that. You were out in the woods in the middle of the night.
Yes, Miss Slate, exactly right. We were chasing down the buffa toad. The buffa toad is the toad that people's dogs can really get hurt by. Yep.
This guy right here up top. I don't know which
Okay,
one.
that right there, that is Rhinella morena, the cane toad or the buffa toad.
Oof.
That toad is not a native species to Florida, and he has no natural predators. So, yeah, exactly. So what I've become is the predator for that toad. There's no animal in the United States that chases after this guy. And there's so much for it to feed on. So you can see these toads in your neighborhood, along the roadside, maybe on your back porch, maybe your dog's chasing in the backyard. And there's a lot of pest control companies out there now that are offering services to collect the adult buffa toad. Well, you can collect maybe 15 or 20 on a good night. But over the past 3 or 4 years, I've been implementing these programs in the different communities and targeting on the tadpole stage, which is actually the most humane stage in handling this species. Rather than grabbing an adult and throw it in a bucket and put it in the freezer to freeze them and then make compost, let's go into the water bodies at the time of the year when the toads are reproducing and collect the tadpoles, collect them at that juvenile stage. And at any given night, you can collect anywhere from 8,000 to 80,000 based on the buffa traps that you saw on the video.
Wow.
Removing them at that stage stops them from becoming terrestrial and ending up in your neighborhood over time. And we've got data that shows communities that we've performed this service in that had hundreds of toads through the season that now have insignificant numbers compared to where it was. Very proud of this service.
What are the
Have you been
dangers?
studying it? Go ahead, Rob.
What are the dangers with these toads, though? Like I mean, some people, like I said, I moved to Florida 9 years ago, and I didn't know what the heck a buffa toad was until my dog, got one in its mouth. So tell me what the dangers are for people that may not know. They see these, they're like, oh, it's just a cute little frog, a cute little toad. Tell them the dangers of these guys.
Well, there's many dangers. The first danger is on our native ecosystem. That toad will eat anything. It'll eat baby native toads. It'll eat toads of the same species that are smaller than it is. Right behind your ear there's on that picture, that gland right there, that gland produces the bufotoxin, and that's what got your dog sick. When those toads are in fear, they produce this white milky substance that comes right out of that gland. Yep, exactly, right there. It'll come out as a white milky substance. For a human being, it will definitely put you on the couch for a few days with some abdominal problems. For animals, it's so unpleasant. It's a miserable way to go. Just overall dangerous. But like I said, it's the ecosystem also. It's the ecosystem that they're destroying, as well as the danger to your dogs if they were to bite into it.
So, Robert, what differentiates you from other pest control companies?
Wow. I'm going to say communication is number one. The minute that we have an interaction, you're receiving text messages from me. Hey, it's Robert from Federal Exterminating. We're going to be on your property in 20 minutes. Hey, it's Robert from Federal Exterminating. Your property is now secure. This is what we found attached as the video. I can guarantee you that once you watch and see what we're doing on your property, the peace of mind that you have knowing that, hey, you've got someone working for you. I could go into all the different treatments that we do or the way that we do it. We're different because you know what's going on. There's never any question. hey, were they here? Yeah, we were here. And if you have something, you can easily send it to me and say, oh, it's 11 o'clock at night. I'm going to send this picture to my exterminator. At 11:01, you're going to get a reply back and tell you it's nothing to worry about or what's going on.
Has the pandemic that's going on right now affected your business or how you go to someone's home, or have you had to make some changes that pertain to this pandemic?
I will say that the interaction with homeowners is definitely different. It's definitely different. I have a lot of school teachers that are on my route that we're fist bumping through the plate glass window on the back porch because they're quarantining on their own. They still require the service that's needed. So we're still coming out for that side of it. There are occasions where we still have to go in for maybe a rodent trap check, but we're wearing masks, we're wearing gloves. We're doing all of the CDC protocols to keep that in check. But as far as being essential, we're labeled as such.
Yeah, for sure. That's awesome. Wow. Is there any story you can tell us as something that happened in your career that you want to share with us? It was a good story. I think you're that's going crazy.
I've got so many stories. I don't know why this one comes to me right now, but a few years ago, a lady in Boynton wanted to go to church on Sunday morning, and her son didn't pick her up. So she took the Cadillac Eldorado that was parked in the back of her house. Well, that vehicle had been parked back there for some time, 3 or 4 months at least, and she drove it on to church. Well, when she got into the church, the people in the parking lot said, "Hey, I think your car's on fire." There was smoke coming out from under it because all of the pine tree needles had fallen down and gotten inside the vehicle, and so that they had thought. Well, they opened it up. There was an entire possum family living right on that engine block right there. So because somebody knew me at the church, and Sunday at 9:30 in the morning, I get a phone call, "Can you please come down?" I show up on the property. I think they had church service in the parking lot that day because everybody was there to watch me extract an opossum family out of the front half of a Cadillac Eldorado. And that possum did not want to let go. I had to get him out of there. So yeah, it's different things that we get. I don't know why that one made me think of that one today, but I could go on for hours with stories.
I know you do coyotes too, because we have them in our neighborhood, and HOAs do hire you to keep their community.
Yes, ma'am. I did do work inside that community for that, and I think there was a hog in there as well at one point. And definitely, yeah, that's right.
Oh,
wildlife. I want to trap everything that walked or crawled at one time.
So Robert, you were the boy who at 5 years old was sitting there playing with the worms in the dirt and playing with all the bugs, right? I mean, you always something led you to bugs, I'm guessing, and pests, right?
Yeah, I think so. Just drug me right to it. The affinity for seeing how they operate and what they do. I mean, when I see a long line of ants trailing into your house and someone walks by and says, "Hey, what are you doing?" Watching. How long have you been watching for? I don't know, because this is just music to me. I just love the way that they operate.
That's awesome. So again, Robert, tell people out there that are watching this or may watch this later time, if they want to get in touch with you, how they can get in touch with you. Maybe they got some termites, maybe they got some roaches, maybe they got these ugly, I don't know, I think they're ugly, these buffa toads in their backyard. How can they get in touch with you?
They can reach me again on our number at 561-777-4476. I'm gonna talk directly to y'all out there. You want to have some really great conversation about whatever pest issues you have, or you just want to have a conversation about your lawn, your landscape, or some wildlife, give me a call. I'll be more than happy to have a chat with you and come visit with you and see what's going on.
Thank you, Robert. This has been really awesome, and I'm so glad we were able to have you on here so people can get an idea of what's happening out there in the pest control world and who they need to call.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for having me. It was a great time.
And I just want to add that, again, Robert, thanks for joining us. Suzanne's been great. She's been setting up a lot of these business interviews, because it's these local businesses like Robert and Federal Exterminating that are I repeat the same phrase all the time, but they're the fabric of our community. And, we got to realize that we're all in this together, and we need our local businesses more than ever. And some local businesses may be hurting right now because of this epidemic, but we got to support each other in this, and stay strong. And I just like to put the invite out there for any other local business owners watching this video. Please don't hesitate to reach out to Suzanne or myself at Ecofine Properties. I guess I should pop up my number instead of the Toad. Let's see here. Get rid of Mr. Toad. So it's 561-801-6621 or rob@ecofineproperties.com. Any business owners out there looking for some free PR, hey, listen, it's a way to show you're still relevant. I understand this is a tough time for everybody, but you're not closed. You're open. You're here. You're here for the local community. So again, for Suzanne's number you can see right there, 561-719-8220 or Suzanne@ecofineproperties.com. Don't hesitate to reach out to us. Robert, again, thank you. I'm going to go clean up the dog poop in the backyard now, because I don't want any of those Buffa toads running around my backyard right now. I'll tell you that much.
Thank you, Robert. It's always a pleasure to see you. You're a doll, and keep up the good work.
Love it. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Have
Thanks,
a good day.
man. You too.
Bye-bye.
And